And welcome back to me channel. Unless you are new here, and then just welcome. Me name is Rusty, and this is me channel where I talk about me favorite movies, mostly horror, and me favorite music, mostly metal. And welcome to my little top list spotlights. These are one that I hadn't seen, so it wasn't on the top list, but 5 movies that were on my top list that I really wanted to shout out and had not done so yet. And we are going to move on now with this with this absolute gem. And that is Brute 1976. The dude in his Daisy Dukes was so funny. It was just so much about this movie was just beyond the pale. But Brute 1976. This was released in 2025. It was directed by Marcel Walz and written by Knetter, and it stars Adriane McLean, Sarah French, and Gigi Gustin. What? No dudes? Okay. But yes, Brute 1976. You know, I had seen the trailer for this, and I thought to myself, that's right up my alley. Yeah. I already know I'm going to like that. That is just so much, I can tell there is so much aesthetics going on and weirdness, and it's going to be done kind of tongue-in-cheek, but it's also going to be gory as fuck, I can tell. And it's going to be one of those. And I was correct. I was overjoyed at how much I enjoyed this movie. It was exactly what I thought it to be, and then a little extra. And you have to remember, you're talking to a lowbrow film fan who thinks that the Nail Gun Massacre is a masterpiece, because it fucking is. But this is of course miles better technically than Nail Gun Massacre, but Nail Gun Massacre is just a masterpiece. But it's a masterpiece of what the fuck. But that's an entirely different story, though, isn't it? But this is set in 1976, duh. And, you know, oh, I'm sorry, I touched a wire. But we have Raquel and June. They are a couple. And the girl... Well, they're both girls, but you know what I'm saying. One of the girls is supposed to be at a photo shoot. They're going to have a desert photo shoot. And she's going to be on the magazine with a black lady. And so, since it's 1976, it's supposed to be like a big deal that they're going to have this beautiful fashion cover on a magazine with a beautiful black woman and a beautiful white woman, you know, blonde haired, blue eyes, you know, for the contrast and showing beauty from both sides and all of that. So it was like this sort of statement. So her and her girlfriend are on the way to this photo shoot when they have car trouble. Mosquito. When they have car trouble and don't know what to do. Now, they're not very far from this little ghost town looking place, so they do manage to go there looking for help. Unfortunately, this is where the Texas Chainsaw Massacre comes into it, because that's what this is a Texas Chainsaw clone. So they, of course, are attacked. One of the girls is kidnapped, and the other one is just killed right out. You're introduced to these grotesque creatures vis-a-vis the Texas Chainsaw family. And then you go back to the outside world, which is Roxy and Sunshine and Jordy and Charlie and Ray. And they are the people at the photo shoot, the photographer, the driver, who is a pothead, the makeup artist, the technician, the technical guy, who is like, for some reason, he's all big and butch, but he wears Daisy Dukes, which is kind of funny. I love the way they're all dressed in 76. So they are sitting there waiting for her. And these characters are just so unique. They're amazing little characters. Each one of them is so independently different than the others. And each one of them has these really interesting quirks. I think the writers did a great job with these characters. Vague, leaving you wondering this, wondering that. So, they continue to wait for this girl and she never shows up, and now they're starting to get worried. So they go looking for them, and although they find right outside of this little town, they see no one, they hear no one, and so they give up right as that girl, Raquel, I think, right as she gets away, she almost gets free, but they don't see her and they drive off. So the famous truck, that's what it was. It was like almost the famous truck scene when the girl gets away at the end of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It was that, except she didn't make it. They took off without her. So they go back to the setting and they don't know what to do. They're going to give up and leave, but instead they decide, well, why doesn't this Sunshine girl? She's pretty. So why don't we make her film with Roxy and take all of these photos? So they do that. Needless to say, they also end up going to that town afterwards for like a final check. And that's when the shit hits the fan, because now they're all in the mix and we start having murder after murder, very grotesque, very... and they do run across the one normal person, which is Mama Birdie. She's a very unassuming, very innocent appearing black woman. And her name is Mama Birdie. And she seems absolutely harmless. She's the fucking family leader of these psychos that are in this town. And I think his name is Zeus, or whoever. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. It's the big guy. He actually like wears, so we're going to get into some of the like shocking stuff in this movie. He actually like, that poor girl's girlfriend, they cut her up right in front of her. And they like cut her torso out, and he like wears it because he likes her breasts. It's like fucked up. It's just so fucked up. The Daisy Duke kill, this is where we get to this interesting thing, because the lovely Miss Carter, a friend of mine in the horror community, she told me she finally was able to get to see this, and I think she said it was on Tubi or one of those streaming places. I think she said Tubi. But she said that there was stuff that was blurred out in it, and I'm like, really? Would that be the glory hole scene? And she's like, yeah, and I don't know what else was blurred out, but I don't know. That would be my question to any of you. If you have an actual paid streaming service, because I understand that Tubi place is free, but if you have a paid streaming service, who's that? Like, are they all paid? Like Hulu and I hate them all, so I don't have any of them. I would never have any of them. What they've done to the movie industry sucks. I wish they would all like short circuit and go out of business. But Netflix, Peacock, Paramount Plus, Disney Plus, all that kind of stuff, I don't know. But if you are on one of those services, what, Amazon Prime as well, right? If you're on one of those services and they have this movie and it's a paid service, is it blurred out? Is there stuff blurred out in this movie? In that? I mean, Tubi, I guess, could be doing it because it's a free service. I'm not sure. Someone who, no offense, someone who pays for that shit, I would like to know whether they actually blurred it out, because there is nothing blurred out in the original, in the physical release. Who would do that? So I did find it interesting that there was stuff so bad in it that Tubi blurred it out, and I'm curious as to whether it is blurred out on other streaming services. I think after I film this, I will go and look that up on Google and ask the question to Gemini or GPT. It's like, do streaming services blur this stuff out? Now, that glory hole scene, my God, I just didn't see that coming at all. No pun intended. But that was painful to watch, and probably one of the most shocking scenes I've ever seen in a movie. And I've seen a lot of movies. That was probably one of the most shocking scenes. So I do have to give it credit. You know, the kills in this movie are grotesque, gory, interesting, different. Put it this way. I've never seen anyone I've never seen anyone have a drill down in their, I've never seen that. Seen one cut off, well, you didn't actually see it in I Spit on Your Grave, but that was painful. They didn't show it, though. In this one, they show it. And I suppose I could see why a free service like Tubi would blur stuff out. But I would hope that a streaming service that makes you people pay for the shit, I never just, what, looking at it on the screen in this, what, I did not know that was a chainsaw, but I can see it. That is a chainsaw. Anyway. But the kills are fucking amazing in this movie. Then, when the movie kind of shifts, after you start seeing this cult-like group, because at first you're just like, they're a psycho group like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But then you start to see that they have like their rituals and spiritual beliefs, and this Mama Birdie and all. I guess it's like a really weird mix of voodoo and Native American, and it's just a really weird thing. So when it shifts into this ritualistic stuff, and this group of psychos are more than just a group of psychos, they are also like crowning a queen and stuff like that. That part sort of like makes up for it's a very good balance between serious horror and horror comedy, because some of this stuff is so over the top, like Texas Chainsaw. And yet some of it, and this movie, because Texas Chainsaw really don't let you see that much. It's just all in your decided it didn't care about leaving it in your head. It wanted to show you, and so it does. So this movie is like 50 times bloodier and gorier than the original Texas Chainsaw. But it's meant to be. It's a gore fest, splatter fest, but at the same time, it's also got a lot of horror comedy in it. And at the same time, it's also got a lot of serious, this is weird, this is interesting, this is crazy. And as crazy as the characters were, I really did get into them. I liked Roxy and Sunshine. I liked the stuff they talked about and them as people. I liked Mr. Daisy Dukes. His character, his personality. The photographer got on my nerves, but he was okay. The pothead driver was funny as hell. So they all of the characters were very cool. And I think that altogether it made it a real fun movie to have in your collection. So let me know if you got around to actually seeing it. If not, I would say definitely give it a look. It is definitely something that you might kind of be conflicted. You're like, I don't really know how to categorize this. It's just a bunch of wild, little bit of horror comedy, little bit of splatter, little gore, lots of gore actually, lots of weirdness. You get flashbacks. Like during this movie, I was like, "Ooh, that's Marlon Brando in Apocalypse Now." After he was completely insane. And then you're like, oh, that's Leatherface. And, you're having flashbacks, Texas Chainsaw, Apocalypse Now, The Hills Have Eyes. This movie gives you a lot of that. And the characters, they also precipitate those flashbacks. And I think that they did a great job, like putting it all together. It's like Mama Birdie. At first, she reminded me of, The Stand. That's kind of the way she acted as well. She was the black lady from The Stand, the ones who stood for good against Randall Flagg. And yeah, so I was like getting all of these references. Zeus, he really was like a really wrong kind of Marlon Brando in Apocalypse Now. And the psycho killers, they were like, oh, and there's also a big twist in the movie about one of the characters from this group. But I'm just not going to tell you what that is. But there is a big twist about one of the characters in this movie that really did throw me. And I was like, I didn't see that at all. I didn't see that coming at all. That's what makes these movies fun. When all alone in your house, and you can have fun with people watching this with you. But just all alone, taking in this movie, the colors, the clothing design, the costuming, all of the weird movie references that you get, not because they're in the movie, but because your mind will go there. It's like, well, he looks like he belongs in Mad Max, and that's definitely Marlon Brando from fucking Apocalypse Now, and she's Mother Abigail. She reminds me of Mother Abigail from The Stand, and yet she's not. She's not. And Roxy was cool. I'm almost like, they named her Roxy, right? But she is like identically dressed in attitude of Foxy, as in Foxy Brown, right? And so, yeah, that's what I mean. I think a lot of this movie makes you really jump all over the place, provided that you have an encyclopedia in your head if you're a horror fan, or if you're a movie fan in general. If you've got enough of a database in your head, there's lots of things that will pop up and make you go see the references to this. So I can't really say enough good about this movie. And all of the... See, I mean, chick looks just like Foxy Brown. And acts like her too. But I can't say enough good about this movie. It's one of those that I'm really glad that comes out of the blue from nowhere and sits very well and unique in your movie collection. If you've seen it, let me know. If you haven't, I suggest giving it a try, and I will talk to you in the next little spotlights. Love you, miss you, bye-bye. Always remember and never forget you are a very, very special person, and I will see you then. Yeah? Good. Bye.